Hi, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Carlton Scovia Nakamia, and this is Her Story. Make it a point to subscribe to our social media platforms, most importantly, the YouTube channel. Visit our website and keep the feedback coming. For any questions, don't hesitate to email them to me or inbox. Now, today, we are hosting a very energetic young woman, Tina. Her story is quite emotional, but also very inspiring. It's a story you need to share with your relatives. It's a story you need to watch. This and more in Her Story.
In 2014, back then when I was still in senior 2, when my mom was still around, we had a maid at home. So this maid became a friend to me. So in 2014, she came back. She had gone to work somewhere, sometime Nakasongola or something like that. So when she came back, she didn't have a place to live.
Okay.
So she came to our place. Because I was staying with my dad, we gave her a room to stay. She got a boyfriend. When she got a boyfriend, she started going out with a boyfriend. And the boyfriend, I knew the boyfriend because he was a border guy. So I knew him around Wakiso. He wasn't a close friend, but I knew him. So time came, I think it was my birthday.
Okay.
Yes, it was my birthday. So my friend offered to take me out that night. I was resistant because I don't like going out to such places, noisy places.
You're not social.
Yeah, I'm not social. So, but because it was my birthday, I couldn't say no. I told them, okay, let's go. We went to a certain place there in Wakiso, a certain club. So the boyfriend to my friend introduced me to a certain man. But
His friend?
Yeah, his friend. But I didn't like him because he was something like 40 something at the age of my dad. And he was coming to somebody who is at 22. You understand? So I'm like, yeah.
Was he initiating a relationship or
Yes.
something?
Yeah, he initiated. He told me, I like you, you're beautiful, all that stuff. I told him, no, I'm not going to have anything with you because you're old enough to be my dad. And I am not even in a mood for anything like a relationship. What I didn't know that our maid and the guy, the boyfriend, they knew that this man had money. So what they wanted was to get money from this man.
Okay.
And the only way to get this money was to get it through saying it's me who is in need of this money.
Okay.
So they could go to the other man and ask money in my name. They could ask him for money. A certain day came, they invited me again to go out.
Okay.
I think by that time this guy had stopped giving them money. He was like, I want to meet this girl. So they had to find a way so that I can meet this guy again. So we met again in the same club. So when we met, nothing happened. He told me, how are you? I'm fine. Can I buy you anything? I told him, no, thank you. And within a few minutes, our maid showed that she was drunk, so drunk that she couldn't even walk. But she wasn't drunk, that I know.
She was just pretending.
Just pretending.
Okay.
So I had to take her back home. But that same night, she had asked money from the boyfriend to go and plait the hair. And her phone, the battery was low.
So you had to use your phone?
In the morning, she was still having something, let me say a fake hangover. It was fake. So the boyfriend called me on my phone and told me, I'm calling Sophie. Why is she not picking? Why is her phone off? I told him the battery is low. So he was like, I want to give her money to plait the hair, and if I don't give it to her this morning, I'm going to use it. So he told me, tell her to come and pick the money. I tried to wake her up, and she showed me that she couldn't even wake up. So I told him, I think she's very drunk. So this guy was like, can you come and pick the money? I knew the place of this guy. So I asked him, are you at home? Because it was near. It wasn't very far from home. I had gone there with the maid
Okay.
once.
So you went to their place?
No, I didn't go there. I asked him, are you at your place? Because it was very early in the morning.
Okay.
And he told me, no, I didn't sleep at my place. I took this guy, the other guy. I got to know, the older man. I got to know he was calling him Salongo. That means he was even married to me. That's what I thought. He was like, come and pick the money, get a Boda B. When you get a Boda B, call me. I talk to the Boda B guy. I give him directions. Then you come and pick the money. Because I didn't suspect anything, I went. I got a Boda B. They talked. But the Boda B guy took me where I was going. But I didn't know the place.
Okay.
So when we reached, the Boda B left me near.
You were alone?
Yes, I was alone on the Boda B. But it was very early in the morning. Something like 6:45, something like that, 6:30. So when we reached the house, it wasn't in a fence. So when we reached the house, the guy came out and he paid the Boda guy. So I told him, no, you give me the money. I go with the same Boda guy who has brought me. So he was like, no, I am also a Boda guy. I will take you because I need to go back and and change my clothes.
Okay.
So he told me, I'm going to give you the money. Come inside. You understand? I went inside. When I went inside, nobody was there. It was just a TV. The TV was on. I sat. He gave me a seat. So he closed. For me, I thought maybe he didn't lock it.
Okay.
But he locked it because he knew his intentions. So as I waited for him, I had the door, the second door, the behind door,
open,
closing.
Okay.
So I thought maybe it's the other man who had gone outside and he's coming inside, you understand? Because I knew it wasn't his place, so there had to be somebody inside. What I didn't know is that he left the key to this guy, the owner of the house, and he left through the behind door. When he left through the behind door, he closed the behind door inside with a padlock, whereby the only person who had that key was the other man. You understand? This door is closed, the other one is closed, the one with the key has to be the other man. So I sat for something like 3 minutes. I called him, but he wasn't even like
available.
Responding. I waited. After something like 2 minutes, this guy came in, this man. He was putting on a shirt, not wearing anything.
He had changed?
No. The other one left. The Boda guy left through the behind door and locked us inside.
So the Salongo?
The Salongo came in after calling for the other guy, and he wasn't in the house. So the Salongo came in. He was putting on a shirt. So when I saw him, I knelt down. I greeted him. He told me, what do you want? I told him I had come to pick money for Sophia's salon, but Vincent is not here. Like, I'm calling him, he's not coming out. And I don't have money for a Boda B. Remember, it was a very long place, far from home. So he told me, you need money to go back home because Vincent is not around. I was like, yes. He told me how much. I told him it's 2,000. So he told me, okay, let me come. So he went inside. When he went inside, he came when he had changed. This time he was in a towel. So when he came, he sat, where I was seated, on a sofa. So he was like, why are you pretending? You've been taking money from me. Last week I gave you a new phone.
What?
Yes. you've been
Did you receive the phone?
No.
Okay.
I didn't receive anything.
Mm.
But I remember our maid received a new phone.
Okay, so you thought the boyfriend had bought it?
Obviously. I couldn't suspect.
Okay.
And all the money that she was having, I thought it's the boyfriend who is providing. Instead, they were getting the money from this man.
Salongo.
Yes. So this guy was like, you're going to pay my money.
What?
I told him, but I have never asked you for any money. The first day we met, I told you no. So you're saying I came back and I said I need money? Or did I call you and ask you for the phone? He told me you've been sending your maid, you've been sending Sophia and Vincent to come and pick things in your name. They have been picking things from me. I told him I don't know anything about that. If you need your money, you need your phone back, go and talk to them. This guy was like, no, you're not going to take my money like that. You're not going to eat my money. And being in a very remote place, this man raped me.
What?
Yes. He raped me. After he beat me very badly. So he tried to touch me. I pushed him away. And pushing him away, I think he got mad. So he started to beat me. Slapping me. Heavy slaps. So I fall from the sofa to
the floor.
And already he had undressed himself. So with this beating, all I could do was shout, and I didn't receive any help. So he raped me. After he had finished doing whatever he wanted to do, he went inside. He got 2,000 and he threw it to me. And he opened the door and told me, you're free to leave. Just like that. I left. Because I was very beaten and swollen up, I decided to first rest before I go to the police. So I went inside, clean up. I took my tramadol. I slept. When I woke up, I had been refreshed. As I was leaving the house to go to the police, Sophia started crying. She told me, if you go to the police,
they are going to
arrest me. I don't have anybody around. Please don't do this. Looking at the situation, Sophia was an orphan.
So you just gave up on reporting to police?
I gave up. I just let it be. Because I looked at a situation whereby I wasn't in good terms with my dad. So my dad would not believe that I had been raped. He would say, I wanted it. I looked at the situation at the police station. I don't have any money. You know the situation at the police station. They need a lot of money. I don't have this money. And this guy I'm talking about, the one who has raped me, has a lot of money. You understand? So he could bribe. I also looked at the stigma. The people who have been raped, they usually go through. So I was like, I'm not ready to go into this stuff.
Are you not afraid of the same stigma now?
Not really.
But people will watch your story.
Yes. Back then, I was young. Back then, I was naive. Back then, I didn't know my worth. All I wanted was to die back then. So I was like, if it happened, it has happened. I'm even going to die anytime soon. Because that was what everybody around me was telling me. So it got in my head that any day, anytime I'm dying. I didn't tell anybody because I feared stigma. I didn't want the neighbors to know, people looking at me in that angle of being raped and all that stuff. I knew my father was not going to believe me. So I decided to let it be. I told Sophie, I'm not going to report you. But it's not because of you, but because I don't want to go through this anymore. Something like 2 months after that, Sophia got another boyfriend. When she got another boyfriend, so this boyfriend was willing to marry her. only if she did an HIV test.
Okay.
But she feared because she knew she was sleeping around.
You kept the friendship with Sophia?
Yes.
Why?
I didn't send her
after
away.
betraying you?
I don't know. I took pity on her, maybe something like that.
Okay.
I took pity on her. She had nowhere to go. She came to our house when she was very young.
Okay.
And she had grown.
So she
in
was
that
like
house.
a sister to you?
Yes, a big sister to me. But when she got this boyfriend, she told me about it, and he told me to go for an HIV test, but I fear. I told her, why do you fear? She was like, because I've been sleeping around all my life, and I've never taken an HIV test. So I fear going there. Because I had always been going to Mulago, and with Mulago, they don't admit you without checking your HIV, and I knew I was negative. So I wanted to give her the morale, you understand? To tell her it's easy, you just go there and
Okay, they screen you
you get the results and you're done. She was like, no, I can't go. So I told her, you know what, I'll go with you.
Okay,
so let's go together. So I went with her. When we reached, she went and registered. So the guy who was registering,
you went first.
No, I seated waiting for her to register. After she registered, because we had come in together, the guy asked me, are you not going for the test yourself? I told him, no, I don't need that test. I know my status because I've been like.
How did you know your status?
Because
through the sickle cell
treatment? Through the period where I've been admitted, all the time they do HIV testing.
Okay.
So I knew I was negative all that time. So when this guy told me, I told him, no, I know my status. So he was like, when did you last have your checkup? I told him 3 months ago. He was like, but you can try again. Okay. There is no harm in trying. So because Sophia was looking at me and I wanted to give her the morale, I gave in. I told the man, okay, register me. So he registered me. I went in for the test, but Sophia went in first. The time for the results came. Sophia went in first.
Okay.
She received her tests. She seated. Then I went in. When I went in, this guy asked me, what if you're HIV positive? Because I knew all that stuff of HIV. So this guy was like, but you're HIV positive. I felt like the world is ending. Yes, I wanted to die, but I didn't want to die with HIV, Already my life is fragile. Now they are giving me another news. Like, hey, who is going to be having 2 chronic diseases whereby no treatment, like no hope of being cured any of the disease? So I felt like the world is coming to an end on my side. That was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, 2015, because I was raped in 2014. So
you knew when he told you you have HIV, you knew it was a result of this rape that I got?
Yes, because all those years I hadn't been with a boyfriend. Yet I was getting sick and was always admitted and tested. So I knew it was this guy. So as we were leaving, walking down home, Sophia was like, I'm HIV positive. I told her, what? You're HIV
Even
positive?
Sophia?
Yes. I told her, it's really a coincidence because I'm also HIV positive. She was like, no, you're lying. I told her, yes, here's my results. She was like, no, how come? I told her, you don't remember that trick you played on me, the 2 of you? Now you see the results? When we went back home, none of us wanted even to eat. We were staying in the same room. Like everybody was just in bed crying our eyes off because we had got our space, and so we decided to cry. In my situation, I looked at I had flashbacks of my mom. She died very thin, alone in the room, no hair on the head, all that stuff. So I put myself in her shoes. I'm in a room having a crisis, then I'm having AIDS,
HIV.
leave alone HIV, but AIDS, very thin, nobody to take care of me. Again, a burden to my sister, because that's the only way out. It's only her who has to take care of me if I get sick. I became born again.
You forgave him?
I forgave everybody, including Sophia. My sister tried to locate this guy, the Salongo, so that they can arrest him. But according to the reports on the police, this guy escaped to DRC.
Okay.
After knowing that he had impregnated other 2 girls and given them HIV, yet they were students. One was 16, another one was 15. So
he had so many cases at police?
Yeah, at the police station. I remember in 2018, one day I received a call. And to my surprise, it was him. And I asked him, who is this? He was like, it's me, Salongo. I told him, what do you want? He was like, how are you? I told him, I'm fine. What do you want? Before he could say anything, he hung up. I didn't want to even call him.
How can somebody recover from rape?
You don't recover. Because I remember after the rape, I hated my father more. I feared my father. I feared any man coming near me. Whenever I could see a man come near me, I could just, I had a replay of the, flashback of what happened. So I can't say it's easy to recover, but it takes God. When you believe, you accept, you don't totally recover, but you learn to live with it. Yeah, you can never get like totally recover. You can't recover, because sometimes you dream about it. Most of the times,
trauma. You got traumatized.
Yeah, I got depressed and all that. But I've managed to get help, and I'm doing fine. If there is any rape case, there is a treatment for PEP. Have you ever had pre-PEP?
Yes. No, it's PEP.
It's PEP.
Post-exposure prophylaxis.
Yeah. Pre-exposure.
Pre-exposure is before rape.
Okay.
Or if you think you'll get exposed to HIV, then you can have pre-exposure. But then I think in your case, what you needed is PEP.
Yes.
Post-exposure, because we were exposed.
Already exposed.
Unfortunately, you didn't know and you did not seek help.
I didn't seek any help.
Yes.
So I if anybody has anything like that, they should go to the hospital. You should not wait until you feel sick.
They should not do what you did.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Because you kept it to yourself.
To myself. I think they should talk to somebody. Because going through that thing of being raped, it took me years to open up to Ashraf. Actually, he was the first person I opened up, even before my dad, after my sister. He was the second person.
Is he the closest friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is my closest friend. So I don't want anybody to go through that. Yeah.
So thank you very much, Tina, for accepting to share your story. It's been quite emotional. I must appreciate you're very strong. I know, like you've said, you cannot recover from rape. It's a very traumatizing experience that no woman actually wants to go through it. We pray that one day you get justice, because the rapist fled to DRC, but we pray that justice can prevail. Yeah. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
But you say you forgave the man. Did you forgive the rapist?
I forgive everybody. Everybody.
Thank you for watching Tina's story. Make it a point to subscribe. Visit our website for more and more of such episodes. We'll be sharing them one at a time. So Tina is going to share with us how she manages HIV and sickle cell. The two are very chronic and they need a lot of medication and attention. So in our next episode, make it a point to watch how she manages the two. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Carlton Scovia Nakamia, and this is her story.